Some folks think slapping on a $50,000 Rolex automatically upgrades them to watch royalty. In reality, it just screams, "I've got money, but zero taste." A luxury watch worn wrong is like a tux paired with flip-flops, painfully obvious and impossible to ignore. Welcome back to Opulent Oasis. Today, the velvet rope gets ripped away. That exec flexing an $8,000 Omega. Amateur vibes. The guy with 15 Swiss heavyweights spinning away? Still clueless. After enough wrist-watching, one thing's clear. Anyone can buy a watch, but wearing it with style, that's an art form. Why price is not equal to taste in watch wearing. Collectors worship heritage and big price tags, but all that hype can't fix sloppy wrist game. Even a billionaire with a $100,000 Paytech can look like a kid wearing dad's watch. The real pros speak a quiet language of fit, vibe, and context. No price tag can buy that. We're breaking down 7 hilarious mistakes even the rich keep making. And hey, think there's an 8th? Drop it in the comments. Every spicy take gets read, even from that cousin flexing his smartwatch like it's a holy grail. The dinner plate power move that screams rookie. The easiest way to spot a fresh face in the watch game, that oversized wrist frisbee hanging on for dear life. Those 45mm dinner plates that once stomped through the 2000s have faded away, like the hairlines of the guys still clinging to them. Today, knowing your wrist proportions is the real flex. Forget trends, it's all about wrist harmony. Most guys look sharp between 36mm and 42mm, but it's not just about the numbers, it's how those lugs hug the wrist. A 38mm vintage Tudor looks like it was born there. Meanwhile, a 44mm beast sticks out like someone crashing a black tie event in clown shoes. The louder the watch, the louder it shouts, "Help! I have no idea what I'm doing." Quick wrist check. Already part of the Opulent Oasis fam? If not, hit that subscribe button and flex your good taste. Alright, let's keep the watch roast rolling. The slouching watch that outs you instantly. Getting the size right but letting the watch sag down the hand, that's like wearing a tailored suit with flip-flops. Tragic. Proper placement started with military officers who needed quick glances without wild arm swings. The sweet spot, a finger's width above the wrist bone. Not lower, not halfway to the knuckles. On one side, the serial adjuster, always fidgeting like they're fine-tuning an antenna. On the other, the wrist ninja, smooth, unbothered, and radiating quiet confidence. Guess who actually knows the assignment? The wrist switch that divides legends from lost causes. Once placement sorted, the big question, which wrist gets the honor? Most go with the non-dominant side to keep things safe and free up the main hand. About 85% play it safe, but the real icons, they break the rules on purpose. Steve McQueen wore his Monaco on the right wrist, fully aware it defied the rules. That wasn't a slip-up, it was a flex. Sometimes, going off script is the sharpest move in the book, showing a quiet, rebellious edge instead of blind loyalty to tradition. The real win, a watch that feels so natural, it almost disappears into daily life. The best test, checking the time mid-conversation without turning it into a full performance. That's when a piece really belongs. The loose cannon, look that wrecks your cred. Perfect placement and wrist choice? Great. But if the watch flops around like a loose carnival wristband, all bets are off. Fit isn't just about comfort, it's the finishing touch. One finger should slip under the bracelet, snug but not strangling. With the arm relaxed, the watch should barely budge. A well-fitted watch blends into the whole look, signaling quiet confidence instead of screaming for help. Nothing ruins a sharp outfit faster than a watch bouncing around like it's trying to make a run for it. The strap trap, even high rollers fall into. Confidence evaporates fast when a killer watch is paired with the wrong strap, a mistake even big league collectors make. This topic blew up in the comments, making plenty of wrists out there suddenly feel naked. Major salute to everyone who called it out. Some rotations might be in for a major reshuffle. Straps have their own secret handshake. Metal bracelets, super versatile, but they don't belong everywhere. A submariner on an oyster bracelet crushes it with jeans, but gate crashes a tux party like a guy who brought beer to a wine tasting. Leather is the instant upgrade. Black means maximum formal, brown steps it down a notch, and exotic skins bring the wild card energy. Then there's the NATO strap, forever casual, no matter how fancy the movement. Slap a NATO on with a suit, and it's basically wearing flip-flops to a board meeting. The outfit assassin, hiding in plain sight. A $500 watch with the right strap can wipe the floor with a $15,000 flex piece worn wrong. Seeing a Seiko on sleek leather at a gala. Chef's kiss, Catching a royal oak on rubber at a black tie event? That's a fashion horror story waiting for a punchline. But the trap runs deeper than just straps. Watches and outfits are in a constant silent debate. These rules weren't cooked up by influencers chasing clout last week. They've been baked in since the 50s, when Patek and Vacheron were pitching slim dress watches for tuxedos and Rolex was hanging out with race cars and submarines. Dress watches with clean dials whisper class. Dive and field watches chill in the smart casual lane. Chronographs, all those sub-dials scream weekend warrior, no matter the price tag. Metal colors play their own game too. Silver loves cool tones. Gold flirts with warm ones. Metals on the wrist should be on the same page as belt buckles and cufflinks. Watching finance bros rock giant sports chronos with tailored suits like they've solved the style universe? Hilarious. It's basically shouting, money talks, but taste stayed home. The tech flex that backfires in formal settings. Here's the final showdown that splits the true watch lovers from the notification addicts, the smartwatch. Practical? Absolutely. Perfect for the gym or faking focus in a Zoom meeting. But at a black tie event, it crashes harder than a phone at 1% battery. A mechanical watch tells a quiet story of craft and patience. A smartwatch, it screams, I just checked Slack during this toast, and yes, I'm always on call. There's a certain flex in wearing a watch that does one thing perfectly and keeps quiet about it. Even A-listers flop here. Red carpets are full of wrist disasters, giant vintage pieces flopping around, tech moguls rocking dive watches with tuxedos like they're about to jump in the pool. Watch folks spot these fails instantly and wince like they just heard a dad joke bomb. Why does it matter? Because a watch isn't just a clock, it's a tiny autobiography on the wrist. People judge style faster than a bad Tinder swipe. The right piece says, I've got taste, while the wrong one screams, my smartwatch dressed me today. The line between rookie and refined isn't about dropping stacks, it's about speaking the quiet wrist language that's been evolving for centuries. Big price tags can't teach that fluency. The best part? Once the rules are truly understood, they can be broken, but only with style. A G-Shock with a suit. Genius if it's a move, not a mix-up. That's the wrist version of pulling off sneakers at a black tie dinner without looking lost. Same with pairing a slim dress watch with a t-shirt. Done right, it becomes a personal trademark instead of a fashion fumble. At the end of the day, these 7 moves separate the collectors from the casual show-offs. Simple to learn, tough to master. And the best watch? It isn't the priciest trophy, it's the one worn with intention and a bit of swagger. Alright, which of these watch sins hit a little too close to home? Any rules you've been proudly breaking? Or did this video just convince you to retire that dinner plate dial for good? Drop your confessions in the comments. We read every single spicy take. If you had fun getting roasted in the friendliest way possible, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and wander through the rest of Opulent Oasis. There's a whole buffet of watch wisdom and wrist roasts waiting. Thanks for hanging out, and remember, the best flex isn't the price tag. It's wearing your watch like you actually know what you're doing. Catch you next time.